Good morning. Thank you for coming to play with my mind today. My name is Gretchen Vogel. I've been a psychic medium. I've channeled. I'm the author of 3 books, and I've been into practical spirituality, which is based on energy, for more than 4.5 decades. Today, we're going to talk about the tunnel experience. The tunnel is actually two different things. The tunnel is a visualization that we use as we leave our physical body. And we hold that visualization in our minds in order to hold the focus of who we are as we leave our physical body. And this visualization can be anything. It can actually look like our culturally accepted tunnel. It can look like a river with a boat, the river Styx. It can look like a roadway with overarching trees. It can look like maybe a path on a beach that moves into a sunset. I think that different people have different cultural interpretations of a visualization that would hold their energy as they moved out of their physical body. And now the greeters are at the other end, so to speak, of this personal tunnel. I kind of call this one the personal tunnel as opposed to the real tunnel. So when we get to the end of our personal tunnel, we're in the what I call the near Earth deceased experience. We didn't really go anywhere in space. We're still near our physical body. We're still near our Earth experience. But the greeters explain to us what the real tunnel is. They show us the portal to more expanded possibilities for ourselves. Now, that is also a choice. So we understand that that's a choice, but we can still choose to stay near familiar people, places, or things in order to get our sea legs, in order maybe to attempt to finish some unfinished business. We can choose to stay near the earth as long as we want. It doesn't make us ghosts. What the difficulty is with people who don't understand what the real crossing over is. Now, the real crossing over is a layer of ligamentary energy that surrounds the earth like a layer of atmosphere. And this ligamentary energy does look grayish blue in color. The greeters explain to us that there is going to be a difference when we cross the tunnel. Yes, we're moving on to more expanded healing opportunities for more expanded self-realization, more expanded assimilation and healing of our prior life. And the act of crossing the tunnel is actually progression that we can choose to progress our experience. And they do explain that it is different over there. It is different. There will be a difference in the way that we experience ourselves. Now, when we're near the earth, it does feel as real to us as being in physical. But when we transit the tunnel, some changes occur in the sensory memory body that make the memory of our sensual experience not as acute. We can remember everything that ever happened to us, unfortunately, all the way along. But there is a change, and I liken it to say that we had a big, heavy winter coat on, and the winter coat made it possible to be near the earth. But now that we're going to move into cross the tunnel and move into what I call the healing energy, healing layers, we take off that coat, or that coat is left in the tunnel somehow. So there is a shift and change in our sensory memory body, in the way we perceive our vehicle after we cross the tunnel. Now, I'm sure you've all seen that great TV show Medium with Alison Dubois. She was crossing people over, and a lot of us who do soul rescue, and most people who are psychic mediums do soul rescue. And don't forget, there are legions of people helping people from the other side to transition and to cross the real tunnel, the real portal to the higher realms. So people on earth aren't the only ones who are helping out with this. Everybody helps out with this. Um, but that gives you some perspective of that the crossing over doesn't have to happen initially, but in order to progress, it does have to happen ultimately. Now, this transitional energy, this isn't going to be the first time that we encounter the transitional energy, but it is. I can't get into that. It would be too confusing. Much further down the road, we will have these kind of choices again. I've been told that this ligamentary energy, that is the real tunnel, acts as a barrier to people who are not refined enough to cross, which is why they need help healing um, while they're still here, which is why they may need some healing perspective and perhaps acquire a little more self will, self power, self realization so that they can choose this transition. But I've also been told that it's a protective barrier between the earth and the higher realms, which I think is kind of interesting. The other thing that this tunnel, the real tunnel, is, is the birth canal when we're born. It's the last tunnel that we cross before we enter physical. So this tunnel has, the real tunnel is quite significant. Now, I've had deceased people tell me that after they were beyond the tunnel, they felt like the tunnel was their real death, that leaving their physical body wasn't their real death, that leaving the proximity to the planet was. So I think we're going to stop here today. My website is howspiritworks.com. I thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. I'm not selling anything. I'm only here to teach. Um, I do have a book, but we'll talk about that the next time. All right. Take care. Thank you so much.